Hello and welcome to the Just Mates podcast, where we aim to destigmatise men not speaking up about mental health. Remember to follow our social pages on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Just Mates Pod. You can listen to and subscribe to our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor and Apple Podcast. All the links are provided in the description. In today's episode, we wanted to kind of end the year on a positive, discuss our intentions, reflections of this year, and so kind of a roundup, weren't it, Sam?
Yeah, just why did we call it intentions, really? Is that just like kind of, it just sounded nice, like intentions for next year sort of thing, and then upon reflection of what we learned in this year?
Yeah, I think at this point as well, with everything having gone on, the festive period being not the same as every other year, things have obviously shaped into a kind of a different new normality. It's nice to, as well as reflect on what's happened this year, kind of taking it forward into what we're going to do for next year, because now we've been through it. We've been through the worst. I mean, how much worse can it get, really?
Well, I don't know, aliens could invade.
I think that would be a positive, to be honest.
Yeah, well, at this rate.
I guess I just want to start it off as there's a list of things here that are like topic covers, and I guess this is about 2020 all in all. I guess I could ask you personally, Sam, what challenges have you faced this year that you feel like have made you a better person or developed yourself?
How personal do you want me to go?
As much as you want people to know.
God, okay. It's made me realise that I'm more resilient than I thought.
Okay.
All in all, really. So maybe like at this, I reached out to my father for the first time in like 13, 14 years, and that went tits up massively, but in a way I had closure to that. I lost all my mates at my old job, including yourself. And I had a relationship fall apart in the middle of the year. And I've picked myself back up from everything that's happened.
I'd like to obviously take this moment to commend you, because I do remember, the start of this year is where we got kind of closer as well. Before the pod happened, this was as well, before we started. And obviously there was so much going on with, as you mentioned, your home personal situation. And like we were pretty much talking every single day. There were things going on, and and the fact that you've now come out on the better end of it, and it just goes to show that these depressive episodes, they happen still, but you've come out and you've grown, and I do feel like you've come such a long way since, because I guess prior to maybe these past few months, mentioning your dad would have been a big trigger for you back in the past few months, but now I feel like you've become a bit more tougher with it.
Yeah, I'm a lot more thick-skinned to a lot of this shit, mate. It's put it into perspective that people are tough as hell.
Yeah.
And I'm not the worst case scenario, but by any means, like people have lost loved ones this year. And it's just put things into perspective, I guess, that, if I can overcome, and there's loads of other things that have really hit the fan, point to the, one of the episodes, where I self-harmed, that situation there, which was completely separate to anything I've talked about. It just made me realize, like, I can, because I've gone through that, somebody else who's gone through what I went through in that particular time, I can really sympathize with them, and I can help them in the future, sort of thing. But going into 2021, like, mate, I'm a completely different beast. completely different person to what I remember we were in the office. Like, I'm just a completely different person, man.
And even I know this is on reflection of a physical kind of aspect, but you posted this picture, I think yesterday, maybe day before, of how you were in 2019 to how you are now.
Yeah.
And it's just, I know that's a physical thing, but even having been through all of what you've been through from last year to now, it's kind of shaped you into a different person physically.
Yeah, dude. And like, what was I, like 85 kilograms, like in December last year, and I'm 72. Like, this is the lightest I've been since I was probably like 17.
Yeah, that's incredible, mate, and hats off to you. And I really do commend you for every hardship that you've been through. We still talk, and like, you are such a positive ray of light, really. So I mean even in the past few weeks, you've been through a few things, like with the accident or whatever it was.
Oh, fuck me, man. Yeah,
I know that hit you as well, but you're striding through.
I just put that for viewers and stuff. So I was just driving, and like, I didn't cause the accident. I just put that out there, but the car just went into. Was it like a white Audi went into a Civic in front of me, and then that car came back and hit my car a little bit. And fine, not injured at all. Just when I got out of the car and I caught, like, opened the door, woman's legs was hanging out the car. It was just messed up, screaming kids and stuff. And I dealt with that situation very well. Like, I got on the phone to the police. I was very calm, but then I guess it triggered me. A couple of days after, for like a week out. So I had the week off work. They gave me the week off, which was good. I tried to work on the Monday, but they just said, no, you need to speak to the doctor. So the doctor was like, you need to go back to work in January, not now, because you're in shock or something. And it's like, I'm really thankful that I was in that situation, oddly enough, because it's like, I know how to deal with that now in the future, especially if God forbid, I get into something like that myself, or that something like that happens again. Really.
And I mean, a lot of people do say trauma shapes you into who you are now as well, doesn't it? So, and I'm not saying you have to go through hardships to be a stronger person. I mean, there's a ton of people that have managed to get through life and are okay and positive and manage to, like, strive through and be as they are. But sometimes these traumatic events can really kind of benefit us. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm a strong believer in that. And Sam, you are as well, I believe.
Massively, dude.
Obviously, with this accident that's happened, it's kind of strengthened you as a person to know that when it happens again, you can deal with it. Yeah. And you have dealt with it.
It gave me a sense of gratitude as well, because the car in front, and I told you this now, the car in front, so like the one guy was put on a stretcher, and the other woman in the car, like, cut her head open really bad. It was really badly concussed. I was able to call 909. They got there super quick. It's just unbelievable what these people do, and the process and everything that goes into that for an ambulance to be there in 2 minutes flat is just nuts. But anyway, it made me feel really thankful, because, like, my car was scratched, right, but it's still drivable, and there's like a little dent, but like, maybe some other people would be like, oh, my car's scratched, what the hell? It's like, I was actually like, I was almost on my knees at how thankful I was, because I've been seriously messed up.
And like you said, it just makes you grateful for everything you do have now, really.
Yeah, bro. You've talked about me for a bit. What about you? Same question, eh?
I think my biggest challenge this year is because of how ambitious I am, the job situation. I think that has taken, I try not to talk about it, because I feel like it's quite a repetitive kind of conversation with people. But obviously, with my career and aspirations and the type of person I am, it's obviously hindered my progress. And I was furloughed for a good few months, 6 months, and then made redundant afterwards. I don't even know how many months I was furloughed for. And I'm not the type of person to not be working, and it's taken a big mental toll on me even now I still feel it every other day. I still get down about it that I'm not working and not working within industry, and it does get tough. Like, and the biggest advice that I've had from people like you, people like that I talk to, my friends and family, is I'm not the only one going through it, and I'm not the only one in this situation that's had a defect within like my career. And I guess now, obviously, if I was to go through this again next year, if I had a job and I was made redundant or whatever, I'd know how to deal with it. I'd react a lot better. But it does hit you, man. It does really get to you that you're not working.
Oddly enough, I haven't been working now for a good number of days, probably since, like, when was the last time I worked? 7 days ago or something. I don't know. I know, like, I hate not having something to do.
See,
like, it messes
with me, I'm the type of person to always keep busy. Like, I don't really just sit here and do nothing. Like, I'm doing a separate YouTube thing as well. I'm doing these posters. I've started doing these animations. I know I always mention this in the pods, but that is my kind of therapy. Like, I can't just sit there and do nothing. And I really feel like for the type of person I am, that has helped me, knowing that I'm a designer and a creative. I can put my creative flair into other things and keep myself grounded. But a lot of people don't have that kind of hobby or don't have the strength to keep going. And I guess that's what's made me grateful, is that I have the ability to do these things. I had the ability to have a computer at home. I can do these posters. I can confidently enough do the YouTube side of things as well. And I guess I have to be thankful that I've been given the time this year to be able to do a lot of these things. And I wouldn't have had that time before.
No, exactly. But you just sparked something in my mind that has made me, like, think a little bit. Imagine if this happened, say, in, like, I don't know, 1990 or something, or like before the internet, before, we had high-powered computers. What the hell would you do?
I do feel like there wouldn't be anything to resort to, would there? Like, their means of fun would be hopscotch. I mean, like, I know that sounds a bit cliche, but like, that is kind of what it would have been like. And we have to be grateful. And I don't know if you watch these YouTubers, but there's a YouTuber called Sharky, and he's a part of the Beta Squad, and basically is someone I follow for a long time. And he put out this video, I think it was today, and he pretty much was saying that we have to be thankful for these content creators, these people that are creating funny videos, entertainment videos, movies, trailers, YouTube videos, all sorts. Without them, a lot of people would be suffering, because I kid you not, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos in these past year that have brightened my day, that have made me feel better, picked me up, made me laugh, made me forget about what I'm worrying about. I've literally sat there creasing on my bed sometimes watching a YouTube video. And like you just said, about 30 years ago, nobody would have had that.
No.
Nobody would have had that fallback to look for these content creators that would cheer them up. And I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm very grateful that there's these videos out there, these people out there, YouTubers out there, that are making this content for us, keeping us engaged in this really, really terrible time.
Yeah, man. And hats off to everyone that's, like, still doing their job at home. Like, I know that's, like, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but, like, but people that don't like working at home, because I don't mind it, right? I don't mind working at home. I'm kind of an introvert, really. I get socially exhausted when I'm around people quite a bit sometimes, but, like, hats off to people that, like,
have kept going.
just aren't used to it.
Yeah,
and just don't work that way. Like fair play.
Yeah, I mean that's another big challenge for a lot of people is adjustment and adjusting to whatever life throws at you. Like even like 2 weeks ago, Sam, like we didn't even know what tier 4 was, and we've gone from tier 2 to tier 4, and I know that's a completely different thing, but that is still a component of adjustment.
Yeah, man. I don't even know what tiers. There's going to be like tier 30, and Boris will come knock at your front door, won't he?
Oh no, yeah. That's another conversation, to be honest. And but with all of this, I think it just makes you grateful that I know a lot of people have lost family, have lost friends in this year, whether it be to corona or whether it be to something personal or injury or whatever it may be. These are trials and tribulations that we have to go through as people. It's a human thing that we have to pretty much tolerate. We can't do anything about it. And the way that a lot of people that I know that have strived through and got to the better end of things, it's astonishing, like that people have this ability to get through it all.
This, especially during Christmas, man. Like I seriously thought that people would just go screw you and they just wouldn't listen to the guidelines and be driving across the country.
No, a lot of people, man, I've seen a lot of tweets, a lot of things all over Instagram and stuff of people saying that it's the first Christmas without their family. Hats off to people, man. You have to be really strong to be able to resist the urge to see your family when you know it's like a ritual kind of thing. And a lot of people have not seen their family. And I'm not saying everybody's followed these rules, but there are people taking this extremely seriously, and there are people that are helping the situation by not doing these things. And just for you, for instance, you've not been to see your mum this year, and it's the first of many years.
Well, I was going to, and then I decided last minute, like, maybe not.
Yeah, of course. And that's just a conscious decision you've made to, I guess, benefit the world. And you've put the world first before yourself.
Yeah, exactly, man. I'll see him. I just hope Boris said something on the 30th, like I can go and see her.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's taught us a lot to be. It's pretty much made all of us virtual recluses, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We just now we just know that we can look at someone on a screen and FaceTime them or Zoom call them, and we know that, like we've just said at the start of the pod, like people didn't have that years ago. They didn't have that option. If you couldn't see someone, you couldn't see someone. That was it. But we've at least got the option to be able to see our loved ones.
Yeah, well, we had a group family Zoom meeting, which was amazing, for like 2 hours on the 26th, which was awesome. And yeah, it's just it was fun. You know?
It does lift spirits, though, don't it? Like, it really does. If you have that moment with your family, and even though it's just making the most of what you've got, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this is. I think this year has plunged me into adulthood. Like, I know I'm 25, man. I'm not. I'm not young by any stretch. You know, I'm not old by any stretch. But I think this year has made me a man.
Yeah, I think we've said this in previous pods as well, and even today I'm going to say it again, like, from when we started this podcast to now, the people we are completely different. I feel like I'm a completely different person. I handle things a lot differently. I've got a different group of people around me. I've lost people, I've gained people, and everything, I believe, happens for a reason. And whether it was meant to happen this year, or Corona made it happen, or Corona didn't make it happen, I am in a position where I am now that I should be grateful that I've got everything around me. I can go on a computer, do this. I can talk to you, Sam, whenever I want to. I can speak to my mum. I live with my mum and dad. I can speak to my sister on the phone. These are so many like small things that we should be grateful for.
Yeah, dude. I often find as well, like, I just don't take shit anymore. I just don't shit anymore. Like, I just don't roll over to shit. And, like, you know, I say what's on my... Like, it can be a good thing and a bad thing, but I just say what's on my mind now. Like, I don't know, maybe it's like a reflection of the pod. Because the pod, I just talk my mind. But, like, no, I just say what I think now.
And I think that's important, man. No matter what you do, you can't live your life pleasing other people. As much as it is good to be selfless, and there is obviously an extent to selflessness that makes you a humble and a good person. You have to be selfish. You have to put yourself first. And the case of you not rolling over certain situations or just battling through things, you have to put yourself first, man. That's the be all and end all, really.
Yeah, because no one else is going to do it for you.
Exactly. When you die, you're in that grave on your own. Nobody's going to be in there with you. And if you, like reflecting on the episode of regrets, if you do something that you wish you had done, what are you going to do about it? You had the opportunity to, so just seize it, really.
Innit? Yeah. Good shout, mate.
I just want to ask this overall question as well about 2020, Sam. Is, out of everything that's happened, we've talked about negatives, we've talked about battling through, what do you feel like has been, amongst everything, your biggest achievement of this year?
Oh, gosh.
And I can actually pinpoint so many for you.
Biggest.
But the thing that you've been most proud of that you've done, really.
That I didn't top myself, probably, to be honest. Amongst all the shit, that I just didn't top myself. Like, this is what I mean when I say, like, I'm much more capable of taking shit than I thought.
Yeah. And you know what? There have been obviously instances when you've been in that dark hole, Sam, and even I myself can't lie, I've had some dark thoughts this year. I've not really told people, like, but battling through them thoughts and coming out at the better end, it just shows you that you should be proud of who you are. And there are so many things that we need to live for, as well as ourselves.
Like, this is one thing I wish, and that's a really good statement, mate. And it's so true. And I just wish someone told me, like, when you're at the end of feeling, like, you remember, I think you spoke to me on the phone at one point, and I was just at my wit's end, and for numerous things, and like, but what you realize is, like, everything after feeling like that crap is beautiful. Everything after, amazing.
It's like that. It's like, you know, withdrawal symptoms of something. As soon as you go through that stage and then you come out at the other end of the spectrum, you kind of look back and think, oh, wow, like, I can actually see the sun, kind of thing, or I can actually see daylight. Like, wow, I was going to take this away from me, that kind of thing. I know it sounds stupid saying it out loud, but these tiny things, like being able to get out of bed in the morning, that kind of thing. And obviously in that moment of time where you're feeling like really depressed, really down, and you feel like there's no other option, you don't think about all these little things that actually make you happy. But afterwards you realize that the smallest of things, being able to have a lovely fried egg in the morning, or whatever it is, or whatever you have, a small, like, meal a favorite meal, that they're the kind of things you look at and then you're like, wow, I'm actually okay. Like, I've got it good.
Yeah, man. And the other thing is, I think the most important lesson that I've learned this year in particular is time heals. Like, that's what's really hit me, amongst other things. So you can have, like, the worst day or week, and, you know, give it a couple of months and you're fine. Yeah. Like, of course, in a week or a day, everybody heals in different time frames, right? But time heals everything, man. Everything.
It really does. It really does. And no matter what happens, you can't change what has happened. So you have to live every moment for the day it is, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just to end on your side of things for what you're proud of.
Yes, sir.
I want to say that on your behalf, I'm actually quite proud and want to commend you for how you dealt with your situation with your dad. The way that you've dealt with it, the maturity that you had as well, dealing with it. And obviously we had numerous discussions about it. I think even like my mum was talking to you as well at some point. Just the way that you've come out of it and realised that you're a bigger person.
Yeah, it just made me realise that I just don't want to be like that, don't want to be like him. And it's okay. It's all right. And it's just closure. Closure is so important, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think on that basis, closure is when you find that closure, that's when you know that whether it's bad or good, I've dealt with it. That's it. I've got to move on from it.
Yeah, exactly. And that hasn't, that when did that fall apart? Like June, July.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
And I haven't really thought about it since, and maybe I'll think about it once a month. I mean, there's always this thing, if you're not thinking about it every day, is it really that important to you?
Yeah. And I don't mean to bring it up again, but obviously I just want to say that obviously that for me on things that you've done this year, that's probably the thing that I'm most proud of for you.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
That's okay.
And the same goes back at you. You've powered through this, man. I don't know how I've never ever seen someone push out so much content like that. That's actually. Screw it, you're going to have to bleep this, but so amazing, dude.
No, I appreciate that, Sam. And I think for me, the biggest thing that I feel like I've achieved is that I can do anything that I want. I've made some tough decisions this year. I've really done stuff that I didn't think I'd be able to do. The podcast, I really didn't think I'd have the confidence to do. I mean, I've always seemed like a confident person, but I never thought I'd actually, go through with it in a sense.
Yeah.
The YouTube side of things, like I've started this YouTube entertainment thing. I never thought that I'd actually be happy with how I look and being on camera and putting that content out there for the world to see. Literally anyone can see that it's a public video.
Yes.
I never imagined I could do these things. These interviews that I've had, the way that I personally, I am very proud of how I dealt with them, how the interviews went. I didn't have one bad interview. Whether I got the job or not, I had no criticism.
Yeah, man. And your resilience of that, it's so bloody hard to keep interviewing.
Yeah, of course. And there are points, I can't lie, there are points where I've felt like giving up, but there have been people around me that have picked me back up straight away, and it's not been a long depressive hole. But I mean, everyone feels like that. Everyone gets down from time to time. But I do feel like I've become stronger, and I can actually say that I'm a bit more decisive now, whereas before I probably wouldn't be able to make the decisions I've made this year.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I do feel like as a person, not to blow my own trumpet, but yeah, I've grown a lot this year. From the start to now, I'm a completely different person, the way I deal with things. So yeah, I guess, that's my biggest achievement, is pretty much the creative side of things, the podcast and the YouTube. I'm proud of myself for that, really.
I think a good takeaway going on to this sorry, I'm eating chocolate, so you might hear me stuff in the face. Lol diet. I'm talking about how I've lost weight, and I'm eating like Linda. What is it? The Lint. That's it, mate. Lol. I think if you're the same person you were last year, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, of course, man, definitely. And
take from that how you will. Like, you can still be a nice person in general, and you can still be a hard worker, but if you're the same person with the same mindset, you know what I mean? Like, there's got to be some kind of change.
Bro, there's always room for improvement, no matter what you say. And recently I listened to this song. I can't actually remember who sings it. And there was this lyric that was in the chorus, and I've made a poster about it actually as well. And basically the lyric goes, "I didn't come this far to only come this far."
I like that.
So pretty much my takeaway was that I've got this far now, but I didn't get here just to stop. I want to keep going. So no matter what happens, whatever pinpoint you can, whatever point you think you're at, there's always room for more. There's always room for growth. No matter what you do, you didn't live your life just to achieve this one thing. Now you've achieved this thing, move on to the next. Or if you've not achieved something, there's so much time to achieve it again or keep going.
And that's a really interesting point as well. Like, you have time to do things no matter how old, like no matter what age you are.
Yeah,
you can always achieve things. Just put your back into it.
Yeah, of course. And anything you want to do, you can do. I mean, I don't think we mentioned actually. We didn't record last week, did we? So that was our first week out. About that? Yeah, so I think we should, yeah. So we didn't record last week, and that was obviously based off the incident that happened with you. I even pretty much insisted that we don't. Yeah. But just going forward, that setback didn't tell us that, oh, that's it for Just Mates.
Yeah.
That was just literally a little hurdle that we've literally knocked over, and now we're recording again. We're back to normal.
Yeah, I'm saying in it a lot, and I fam. Sorry, there's London coming out in it. No, I think that was just a decision from both of us. That was like, we can't be advocating mental health if we're both not feeling great.
Yeah, and I think we both weren't up for it, and especially you with having been through the accident. And I guess you could call it a form of PTSD. Yeah. It's hard, man. Like you just said, if we don't take time out for ourselves, how can we preach it?
Yeah, well, we can't. I just the worst thing, the number one thing for me now, and this is something I'll tell my friends and my family, my kids one day, like, just be honest, just tell the truth. This is something I preach all the time. Just be honest with everyone.
And yourself.
Yeah,
man.
Well, exactly. And if you think about it, because if you're honest with everybody else, you'll be honest with yourself.
The thing is, a lot of people are very cagey, and as men as well, I think that's the biggest thing. As men, we don't talk, man. Even now, I still struggle to talk about things. Like, I'll just hide it, or I won't make out that I'm not feeling too good, or, like just the norm. I just won't talk about it. But I've become a lot better at that now. Like, I will speak up about things. But as men, we shouldn't hide away. If we feel sad, we should tell someone we feel sad. Going through it alone, as much as we think that we're hard-faced and we don't need to rely on anyone, everyone needs support, man. Everyone.
Yeah, and just I don't really like this word because for numerous reasons, but just learn to be vulnerable, because that's that can be a big strength.
Yeah, I mean, it's great being thick-skinned. It's great being stone-faced or whatever it is, just to make yourself feel like you can handle everything. But take a layer off sometimes and just let that thing sink in. Let yourself feel whatever you want to feel. If you want to cry. I'm actually going to admit to this. I'm not a crier. I think I've told you this so many times, Sam. I just get angry. And the other day, my mum put up this video of me and my granddad. And obviously my granddad has passed away. He passed away 3 years ago. And that was 3 years ago, about a week or so ago. And my mum put up this video of me. Basically, I was feeding him. And out of nowhere, I don't even think my mum knows this. She probably might be hearing me from downstairs, or she'll listen to the pod and hear it now. I cried. It wasn't like a heavy cry. It wasn't like loads of tears, but I got tearful. I got emotional, and that was the first time that I've cried in a long time. And I let myself. I always stop myself from crying. If I ever feel like shit, I tell myself in my head, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. I'll stop myself, but I just let it out. I actually fully let the tears out. And do you know, I went downstairs and my mum probably didn't realise at all. I just told her, I saw the videos. I felt so much better.
I tell you, man, crying is really freaking useful, man, because it's a human expression to let other people know, like, this is what it is. It is cool to let other people know that you're sad. It's like it is in essence like a cry for help, and it's to let your emotions out and stuff. Like after, and you know, I cry a lot, mate. I cry to everything, man. Like I cried to, what did I cry to the other day? What was it? You ever seen Happier, the music video? What is it?
No, but
I cried to that music video, man. But I don't care, because after that cry, you're fine. Like, you just need to cry sometimes, dude.
Yeah, and the thing is, for me, it was a big thing to have done that. Even though I did it in my own time, in my own space, and no one knew, I still did that for me. Like, I vented out. I physically vented out with tears, and it's hard for me to admit that. Like, I'm not the type of person to cry. Like, I never cry. I just get angry. I'm always just an angry person. And yeah, so it's okay to not be okay. Like, it really is.
I don't, maybe it's just something, and that's a good way to put it, mate. I just don't find anything, how do I frame this? It's not weak to cry. Like, it's actually quite a strength to be able to cry in front of people. Like, you know what I mean? And the fact that you've done that is that's huge. That's huge waves, mate.
Yeah, because you can cry one day and literally be the strongest and happiest person the next day. That doesn't mean just because you've cried, you can't be strong. You're not taking a quality away from you. If anything, you're letting people know that there's a layer of you that can be touched, and you can allow yourself to feel. Really, that's it. You just need to feel.
And I think people have got this perception of people crying. It's like, oh, it's weakness. Like, it's not though, really. Like, well, if you're crying like every 5 seconds, I don't know, you broke a nail, like, I don't know, your car's failed, you're just crying all the time, then maybe you need to see someone. Like, maybe, I'm not too sure. It depends what it is.
But that's sensitivity levels as well. There are people like that.
If you cry at least once, it makes people realise that, oh, this person's human. Maybe it's okay if I cry around them, you know?
Yeah. Do you know what? That's actually such a good point, Sam. If you let them emotions out in front of people, then another person will realise that, well, somebody else has done it. It's okay for me to do it. Let's share these feelings, and then you'll have saved another person in a sense.
Exactly, man. Like, me and all my family are criers. We're just all of us, and that's something I'm really thankful for. We're just open people.
Yeah, it's really good to do that. And as I said, I don't do it often or at all, really. And yeah, it did feel good, man. And I wasn't crying in a sense that I'm really, really sad. I was just crying because I literally remembered all the memories in that 15, 20 seconds of letting some tears out, or a couple of minutes or whatever it was. I remembered all the memories of my granddad, and it just made me happy.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. Happy tears, eh?
Yeah, it was a mixture. So yeah, that's 2020. I think what I want to end this on, really, Sam, is asking you what you kind of want to achieve next year.
My goal last year was to lose weight. And I've done that. If I didn't secure a job, it would be to get a job.
What about within your job? Something you want to aim for?
I want to be promoted this year, in 2021. I want to be promoted, and I reckon I can do that. hopefully. But
I think so.
But if I can't, then it's fine. I've still got time. Like, I'm not going anywhere soon. I probably want to do another half marathon at some point. That'd be nice, just by myself. That'd be quite cool. There's loads of little ones, dude.
Micro goals,
and they're nice. I probably, if I ever get the chance, probably see my family a lot more this year. That'd be nice. I want to get to a certain savings goal. I've saved up a lot of money at the moment, which is great. I'm trying to save for a mortgage, and I'm doing really well at the moment with that. So probably 5 or 6 grand more this year would be lovely.
Perfect.
Yeah, dude. Loads of stuff, and just soldier on, really.
Yeah, of course. And I do believe you can reach each and every one of them goals. I mean, you're heading for promotion now as well, aren't you, really? Like, the way you work your arse off. So I'm hoping you get that and you get the things that... Oh, yeah, I was just going to say that.
I want a PS5.
Yeah, if they ever come in stock.
It's so funny, really. Like, I think I told you this. Like, I've stayed. This is completely irrelevant, but I'll just talk about it because I like it and it's fun. So screw it. I bought an Xbox because I thought I do like it when the Fable games come out. I do like it. I do like Forza Motorsport. That's good. And most of all, I like Halo. And I was like, this is going to be amazing. And it's, it's technical specs wise, it's more powerful than the PS5. And then it's like. They're like Halo Infinite is like delayed until November, and I was next year, and I was like, so I spent £450 to wait 12 months technically from when I bought it. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, like screw this. I'm gonna get a PS5 and play Spider-Man. I don't care. So I'm saving up for it now.
Yeah. No, I remember you saying, and I was surprised because you're really an Xbox kind of lover.
But yeah, it's completely irrelevant. But I just thought it was cool because it's nice to have little like savings goals that are like something for fun.
Yeah, man. Of course, you can't. You've got to have something for fun. Definitely.
What about you, bro?
Me, secure a job, and. Yep, secure a job, really, and I'm literally en route to that. All glory to God. I hope I will find it. I'm in the middle of an opportunity at the moment.
Beautiful.
Savings as well for me as well. Fitness-wise, I want to get into a bit of a better position. I mean, that's one massive achievement for me this year. I'm going to share a picture with you after this, Sam. And it's a difference, but you could pretty much say from... September to now, since I've been intermittent fasting, and I'm really happy with how I'm looking at the moment. And I've thanks, Sam. So there's that. Fitness wise, I just want to hit a few goals. Trying to do this handstand thing and hold it up a bit more. Skipping. Want to get back into running again. Mate. I've been doing that this week.
You're actually skipping.
Thanks, man. Skipping, that's one of my proudest things as well. I've done so well with skipping. I used to be so crap, and now I actually feel like I'm quite good at it.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's really hard, man. But once you get going and you get into the rhythm, anything you do slow, you can do quick. That's another thing. And do you know what? And this sounds cliche, sounds like I'm just saying it, but I just want to be happy next year. I want to actually feel real happiness and feel like I don't have anything to worry about.
And you know what? If this whole Corona thing carries on, not going back into the office, and if it just carries on like 2021 is a repeat of 2020, like I'm fine with that. No, I'm not fine with it, but you know what I mean? I can put up with it.
I mean, it will be a lot of mental strain on a lot of people, but I do feel like if we've done it now, we can handle it, and we might even be able to deal with it a lot more better next year. Like, we'll have different resources. I mean, the world is now kind of conforming to a digital era anyway, so I can imagine that next year there's going to be tons of different things that we'll have access to. Oh yeah. Okay, why do you always drop these bombs here? Brexit, tier 4. Yeah, no, I don't even want to talk about Brexit. And I remember, we're not talking about anything political on this show.
Yeah. Okay.
That is not happening. Especially because you're the opposite agenda.
I'm not like I'm Hitler, mate.
To be honest, Sam, yeah, we can't talk about that. We can't.
I'm not being the Third Reich, you know. Welcome to Just Mates podcast, yeah, where we talk about the Brexit and no.
I think you do that awfully too well. Okay. Anyway, so guten Tag. I'll see you later.
Hello. See you later. How are you, mate? I don't know. Whatever.
Anyway, but yeah, no. Thanks again, guys. I guess we'll wrap this up. Yeah, Sam. Thanks again for taking the time. I hope you've had a nice Christmas. I hope you have a nice New Year. We'll probably be releasing again. Whoa! Hold on. New Year's Day is when this episode will come out.
This one? Thick.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Yeah. So thanks again for tuning in, everyone, this whole year. I guess I can't even remember when we started, but we're 29 weeks in. And yeah, it's amazing. Mad. It's been great.
Mad.
I'm super proud of ourselves, really, Sam, to be honest, for having done this, and hopefully onto a better and bigger next new year.
And just let everyone know, get a bloody Lumi light. Just get one, because I got one for Christmas, and they're sick. It's on right now. Everybody should get one. They're awesome.
Get one. I want to get one as well, and I've been meaning to look at one. So yeah, that's So we've been Just Mates Pod. This is episode 29. I guess we've called this Intentions. Thanks for listening. You can find us on our socials at Just Mates Pod on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can find us at Just Mates Podcast on Spotify and YouTube. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're listening via that. Thank you again. I have been The Feast, and we will see you later.
Nice. See you.
See you later, mate.
Bye.
Bye.